This pumpkin took 228 days to come to this moment, and that's a lot of work and energy that goes into growing your own produce. And the worst thing is when your pumpkins rot or your produce rots and you don't even get to enjoy the beauty of it. So these few steps are going to save you some trouble, and it's going to show you how I store and set up my pumpkins so that I can maximize their shelf life and enjoy them for longer. And no more stinky, rotten pumpkins.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air.
G'day, it's great to have you back at the Shine Wellbeing Veg Patch, your home of integrated well-being from the ground up. We're setting up the storage for the pumpkins today, and I'm going to guide you through that process step by step as I do it. So the first stage to the process is to trim off any excess. Now, you might see that I actually leave some of the stem on there. I don't mind that, and I find that my pumpkins actually store better and don't get as much rot from the stem, because there's two key areas where your pumpkins will rot from. I want to take this moment to just say thank you very much to all of those of you who've subscribed to this channel. We are blown away by your support. One is from the stem and one is from the base. And then if you've got any nicks or damage to the skin, that will be another area where you'll end up with issues with rot. So what I've found over the years is that by leaving a little bit of the vine on there, it makes it a little bit easier to store my pumpkins on this side. And it also makes it less likely to get the rot into the stem. If you're interested in all the harvest tips and things, there's other videos on that. This pumpkin's been cured for 2 weeks. It's been a little bit on the cooler side, and usually I'd want it a little warmer to cure it, so it hasn't cured as quickly as I'd like. The skin is still a little tender, but it's not too bad. First step is to remove any of the muck that comes with growing your own organic produce. You might end up with snail poo on it, you might end up with a bit of dirt, a bit of fluff, a bit of dust, whatever you've got. Just taking all of that off there gently. I use a microfiber cloth. It's part of my kit for the harvest, and they're always there ready to go. Okay, pay particular attention to. You want to see more content like this? Don't forget to hit that like button and even share it with your friends. It makes a world of difference. The base and also to that neck, as I said, those are areas that are likely to give you grief. Pop in my dirt cloth aside. I now get my harvest prime. There's a video on how to make this if you're interested. And I give it a light misting. This is a super fine micro mist, and it just adds just enough to the pumpkin without, making it all wet. But it allows me to just clean off the surface of the pumpkin and really prepare it for its shelf life. There's not much point in growing all this stuff if you can't store it. So that pumpkin's now ready to be stored. And so I'm going to grade the pumpkin now according to what I think its shelf life should be. So it's in pretty good condition. It's well cured in the neck. So I think this is a later pumpkin. And you'll see that when I'm grading smaller produce, I've got these 3 baskets. So now, soon, and later. So if I was grading the chocos, which are going to be done later today, and there'll be a video on this as well if you're interested, but then I would put them into these baskets so that I know where they belong in the pantry when they get packed away for good. But pumpkins are too big for that system, so I do something a little different. Sharpie and painter's tape. I take my bit of painter's tape and I mark this off as a 2024, and it is a later pumpkin. So I just write that on there, stick it on. Let's do this cute little one. Look at it. It's so adorable, isn't it? What a beauty. Okay, we'll give it a clean. Use our dirt cloth. You don't have to spend a lot of time on doing this. It really shouldn't take you that long. That's done. Add our Harvest Prime. Polish that off. And that is a job done. Now, I'm looking at that stem. It's well cured. The skin is reasonably firm. This will be a perfect little roasting pumpkin. Just pop it in the oven whole. So I'm going to grade that one as a later as well. And he's done. So that's two. Let's do a big one. Okay. We nearly rolled off the bench. Blimmin' heck. Monster. Okay, so this one has got a little bit of damage to the skin here, not a lot, nothing major to worry about, but you can see what we're talking about here. See how there's some snail poo or something up in there, and then we've got just this little bit of dust on that pumpkin. So I'm going to clean that off, and it's great to be able to work out here in a Shine Wellbeing outdoor kitchen because I don't have to worry about making too much of a mess. So I'm just looking at this one. I don't think it's got a very long shelf life at all. It's already starting to show some signs of deterioration here, and there's a little bit of softness or give in that skin. So I'm not happy with that one at all. It's a beautiful pumpkin, nothing wrong with it. It'll just mean that it becomes a now pumpkin as opposed to a later pumpkin. Grading them in this way means that you'll just end up eating the ones that are most likely to rot first, and the best ones will keep for longer, and you'll be less likely to end up with rotten pumpkins. Set up our label. So where that damage is, I'm going to pop my label right there. Okay, not right on top of the damaged part, but just near it. And the reason for that is that if I know there's damage on the pumpkin, I know to look for that label, and that helps me to find it quicker. So this means that I'm not going to be wondering, oh, why was that marked as a now pumpkin, and then having to look all over the pumpkin, because your pumpkins are going to get moved in your pantry. People are going to move them around to get one out, or to get the right size one, or whatever the story is, and they're going to get mixed up. So this just cuts out all of that problem. See, this is what they look like when they're coming in from the patch. If you go and shove that in your pantry as is, you're going to end up with issues. It's not going to last you very long at all. This pumpkin, definitely going to be a now pumpkin. It's got some give in that skin already, so no problem. We'll just make sure we label him up. If you've got kids who like to cook, or if you've got partners or friends who like to cook and use your produce, this is going to stop the wrong pumpkin being used at the wrong time. You know, this is going to give you something visual. It's all marked out. It's super easy to do, and it's really going to maximize your harvest. Okay, welcome to the Shine Wellbeing Butler's Pantry, and here I have a large enclosed pantry area that I use just specifically for the produce. And you can see that the pumpkins that we've just grated are now stacked in here as per their grading. So they're labeled small, medium and large on the shelf, and they're stacked in those orders as well. And this allows us to find the right pumpkin for the right meal in terms of size. But you can see the later pumpkins are stacked up the back, and this whole top shelf is all about later because it's a little bit harder to get to. You'll see that I've got the cardboard on the bottom, so this helps to prevent if there is any deterioration of a pumpkin or rotting, it's not going to go all over the cupboard. And they're also stacked on wire cooling racks just to keep the airflow through the base. So you can see here in this next shelf here, we've got the now pumpkins. So these are easily visible and quite obvious, and they're not tightly packed in because they're very likely to cross-contaminate other pumpkins. So that's the Shine Wellbeing Harvest Pantry. I hope that you found this video useful. If you have, please give it a like and share it with your friends, and I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for your energy. Have a beautiful day. Shine on.
Beyond gravel.